Are you looking for a podcast about all them bodies?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh! Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How we feeling?
Well, the Queen died.
Dude! Dude! Okay. I don't think
alright.
it's a secret. I'm not like the biggest on like royal family stuff,
Yeah.
but the way that I gasped when I saw that today,
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared to be that affected. I don't think. I literally was like, like
I was the total opposite. I was sitting there on the toilet and I was like, oh, the Queen
Oh
died.
my
Just kept on scrolling.
oh, no. Sploosh. Just keep going.
Basically, it's just another like horrible thing that's happening in the news. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to make light of her death or anything if any of y'all were personally offended.
Here's why. It's because someone at work was literally just writing to me about how they'd read there was a doctor on hand for the Queen and she wasn't doing so hot.
Right, I heard
and
that.
And then 10 minutes later, I turned and someone goes, Queen died. And I was like,
yeah, it was
like,
very fast. Like, she was like, I don't feel good. And then died. So,
like,
I mean,
I think it was more that. Like, the fact that somebody had, because if someone had just written it, I would have been like, oh, shit. Whoa. You know?
Yeah.
But I was, like, just tied to this event by somebody. And then, like, it paid off is the wrong word. But, like, it reached that conclusion very quickly. You know?
Yeah.
I wrote somebody in the UK about it today.
You did,
And got firsthand how they felt. And I was told, I go, oh, so the Queen died. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, so what happens now? And they were like, well, nothing. I mean, we don't even get the day off today.
That's wild to me. Like, I know that she's just a figurehead, you know, but at the same time...
Oh, that was so funny.
She's been the figurehead for like 70 years. You'd think they would at least mourn a little. I don't know.
Okay, well, so there's a video that I do want to watch. Apparently, a bunch of people did congregate outside Buckingham Palace, and they all started singing God Save the Queen.
Oh,
and that sounds extremely moving.
Yeah, it does. I like that.
But when I was there, I mean, the person that I went with, she was like, nobody fucking cares about them.
Okay.
Like, we don't care. We know where they're at because it's put on the news first. Like, we're made to know where they are, what they're doing, but none of us care. And then she was like, well, now that she's gone, Charles is taking over, but everyone hates that fuckwad. And I was like, damn, dude, like, nobody gives a fuck. But then...
I legit thought that one of the princes was next in line. Like, Prince Harry, Prince, what's his nuts?
Andrew.
And, no.
Somebody had to tell me names today.
Is that Harry's brother, Andrew?
I don't fucking know, dude. I don't
one
like
of them
them.
One of them married Kate, and one of them married Meghan Markle.
Yeah. Harry is the Meghan Markle one. He's the one that, like, left the royal family.
Okay. I like
He's
him,
the one
though.
that everyone likes. Yeah, because he is renouncing all the stupid shit they do.
Yeah.
He's changing the generational traumas. Kate Middleton. Here, let's see. She's married to Prince William.
Prince William. Let me look at his face. Prince William.
Dude, he's a...
Ooh.
I mean...
Looks like an egg.
As I said, he looks like a goober dude, but...
He was really handsome when he was young.
Was he?
Yeah. Picture I'm looking at.
He looks the same in every photo that I'm seeing.
I'll send this to you.
Okay, but so then who? He looks like Val Kilmer back in the day.
He kind of does.
Yeah.
That's
Batman right there. So I was just like freaking out because like what happens? Like this is the first time in you and me's lifetime.
Yeah, and probably the last.
Experience this.
I guess since
not the last. We're gonna have this happen a lot now because
Prince Charles is old as sin. He's like 70.
He's 73.
Yeah, that's
so
old.
if he lives as old as his mom, we get him for 23 years.
Jesus.
Now, I want to put this in perspective for you too. I told my dad that the Queen had died.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she was the Queen when he was born.
Yeah, she's been the queen for 70
Yeah.
years.
My dad is like, my whole life, there's been a Queen Elizabeth. Like, even to him, the generation above me, that's a staple.
I mean, she's on all the money in Canada. Like,
Is she?
It's a big thing. Yeah, like she's on the coins up there and the dollar bills and stuff. They're gonna. Are they gonna print new money? I don't know. How does that work?
I guess that depends on King Charles. If he's like, it's my fucking time to shine, recall all the money.
Recall the money.
Like, who knows? He might just be like, yep, I want a whole new. Because I mean, we got a new reprint of money. Remember when we went from all the small photos and now everybody's photos
the big
are
face
huge.
money.
And every now and then you'll catch like an old 20 and be like,
yeah,
whoa,
whoa, it looks fake because it's a tiny little portrait. Yeah, super weird.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw a new 100.
Yeah,
I thought that shit was fake as fuck.
I know. I laughed when I got one. I was like, okay, now give me the real money, you Monopoly man.
I was like, you got ripped off. That's fake money. And then I go to Google and was like, that's real money now. Oh, shit. That's how it's going to be for them. One day it's just King Charles is on the 1 pounder, you know?
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, that's not real.
Queen's dead. Money burning party. Got to get the Charles faces out there.
Yeah, like we've never had this. We don't know what this is.
No.
We don't know how this works.
You want to pour one out for our homie, the Queen?
I mean, she was apparently a pretty decent lady.
Was she?
Yeah. I mean, she just was the queen, so you got to hold that image, you know.
I just like pictures of her.
She was nice enough.
In like weirdly colored suits and bright hats.
That's good, man.
This is very good. I found the seltzer at the back of the fridge. I forgot I had it.
Oh, I'm still liquid deathless, so I'm also out of sparkling.
I was scrounging. I was like, I gotta get a crackable.
I know that the royal family means a lot to most people,
which is weird to me as an American. Like, I feel so far removed from it.
But so
I don't
many
give a shit
people
about
here
them.
are so in it, though.
I know, like The Crown. Everyone watches that, and they obsess over the lives of these British royals that we don't have anything to do with.
Absolutely. Do not care. I never cared when it was like, oh, he's marrying this lady. I don't care. I don't care about their kids. I don't know these people.
I know. It was like on the cover of People magazine, like first picture ever of Prince George or whatever.
I don't know these people. And I have no reason to know these people. And apparently, the country that they live in, those people don't care about these people.
Yeah, so why are they such a big deal?
It's the romantic idea of being a prince. Like, Meghan Markle became a legit princess, you know? Like, the thing that our little girls are kind of taught to want to be. Like, that whole Disney princess idea, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but it really exists out there for some women. And it's this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can become a princess. It's crazy.
It's bizarre.
But it happens to 2 out of a billion people, you know? I'm interested in Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, I think they're
Taylor
interesting.
told me that whole story.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I like them. That sounds good. Like, they just... He wasn't going to let, like, tradition ruin this lady that he loved. You know? I was like, fuck this. This is great. This is fun. This is a great story, you know?
It's wonderful.
But just like, oh yeah, I'm rich and I'll just continue to be rich because I was born this way. I'm not interested in that.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit. I'm bored with that already. I always get so weirded out when we live through like a history book moment.
And it's happening over. I feel like I'm so desensitized to it at this point because this is our like 15th historical moment in the last 2 years.
2 years? Yeah. Isn't it weird that, you know, you read about history and you're like, wow, like what a grand moment.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, yeah, I was sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
And I swiped away. Like,
and I scrolled right past it.
Yeah, like that's what history really is.
Yeah,
you know?
honestly. Man.
I mean, what? I was pissed off at my job and I saw it pop up on my tablet and was all like, ugh, gotta get back to this Dragon Ball video, you know, like. That's real history, people. You know?
Yeah.
I can speak about some ruined history.
Ruined history, okay.
A little bit, man. I don't think it's unknown to our people that while I am a Sony pony, God, I'm finding it really hard to stand behind the things they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm cool with The Last of Us being remade. I'm fine with it. I wanted to buy it just because I like the game. I'm not saying everybody should go out and buy it. I think this game is meant for the hardcores, the people that just love it and want it.
Yeah.
Because so many people are just mad that it's getting remade. You don't have to buy it.
Yeah, like it's not hurting you.
If you don't want it on the PS5, you don't have to get it.
Yeah.
But other people get to have that, and it's great. Problem is, it sucks.
Why is it so bad?
I beat it already. You know how many fucking bugs I came across in playing that game?
It's bugged?
While it is so beautiful, there are just tiny weird problems with it.
Like what?
I showed Taylor a video. So I took a video that I can put on our Twitter and stuff for you guys. I don't know. I was on the horse in the university section. There's a part where they travel to Colorado, and that's where he's supposed to be able to drop her off, mission complete.
Yeah.
And you're riding around there, and for some reason, I went down the stairs on the horse, but it, like, shrunk Ellie's model behind me, so she, like, her neck just, like, shrunk into her body.
Oh, no.
And her backpack that was doing like this just started, like, bucking wildly behind me. That's never happened in any version of the game I've played before.
Okay.
Then in the top left of my screen, it was like the image wouldn't, like, process correctly. Like, it was processing all of it good, and then it was just, like, flickering in the top only the top left in
That's
certain
weird.
moments. There's a puzzle. It's known. I had to Google what's happening here. And they said, oh yeah, this is a straight up bug. Here's the workaround to be able to even beat the fucking game.
Damn.
You're supposed to plug in a generator, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not even a hard puzzle. The puzzle is grab the generator, pull it over to the cable, grab the cable, plug it in.
Okay.
That's the puzzle. The button prompt to plug it in never shows up.
Oh my god.
So you can't just plug the thing in because the button's not there to do it. So you know what you got to do?
What?
You got to go into the accessibility settings,
Okay.
which is another great thing that it was made. Like, a lot of people are saying the game is worth the $70 for people to have the accessibility features if they've never been able to play it before.
All right.
Because all the stuff from Last of Us 2, like all the different visual thing, like there's like 60 plus accessibility features that are built into this game. Like, there's
Damn.
an insane number, and it's great.
That's good.
One of them is to skip puzzles. So if you just, like, maybe a puzzle will require too much controller-wise, and you have some type of disability that you can't do that,
Yeah.
you can just skip the puzzle, go back to the walk-around part of the game.
Okay.
So to just beat the game, you have to go to an accessibility thing to skip the puzzle, pause it, hit skip puzzle, and then you go back to the game.
All right.
But why? This game has been released 2 times already.
Yeah, like what broke?
Yeah, what broke? I mean, you redid the assets, I understand. I mean, dude, there are scenes in this game that I was like, fuck, that looks so good. Dude, the opening scene that I fucking...
Have played many, many times.
Dude, I wait for the day for somebody to be like, video games aren't art. And
Oh my god.
I already know what I want to say. I need 20 minutes and The Last of Us. And I'll get you there, right?
Yeah.
That opening 20 minutes is some of the most perfect crafted art that I've ever had the pleasure of playing.
It's impactful.
Because you even put a thing in our Discord the other day.
Yeah.
That said, video games aren't just art. They are every single other type of art combined into one. Plus, I get to interact with it.
Yeah.
It is a movie. It is drawings. It is painting from time to time.
It's got music.
It is, yeah, it's music. It's every single piece of art rolled into a single thing, and you get to control it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow. That was the best tweet I'd ever seen.
I knew that would resonate with you.
And so that's why I think that 20 minutes is good enough to show people.
Yeah.
But again, I was gonna say with the redone models and stuff, it was literally like seeing it for the first time.
Oh man.
And I cried big time.
I would like to see it again, honestly.
It hit so much harder. It changed my whole perception of one character totally.
Really?
Because so there's a character named Tess, and the way she's been rendered, I always took her as like 30s, late 20s, like a younger person.
Yeah.
She's like clearly in her like later 40s.
Oh, okay.
With the way they render her now, with the wrinkles and all that stuff. Like, my whole perception of her dynamic with Joel is changed because I have a better understanding just visually of what she's even supposed to look like.
I'm going to look her up real quick just because out of curiosity. So Tess, The Last of Us remake.
When they pulled her up, I was like, oh my god, she's like 20 years older than I imagined.
She looks so young in the first one. And in this
one, she's so smooth.
Yeah, they gave her she just looks like taller Ellie. But in the new one, she's got like gray hairs and wrinkles and like an effect about her that just makes her look aged.
She looks like a person.
Yeah.
The original game came out on PS3. Don't get me wrong. It didn't look amazing by any stretch. I mean, it looked good for its time.
Yeah.
But it was stiff. It was... God, look at that. Is so different.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That woman on the right, I know, like, who that is, you know?
Yeah.
I can tell what that is. And on the left, I see a different person.
Completely.
I see two different people. And it did that with so many characters throughout the whole game. And I was like, I mean, it's worthy of being here. Is it worthy for every single person to go out and buy it for $70? Absolutely not. It's worthy for me to go buy it for $70 because I love it and I want to see it in this new way.
Right.
It's for me. But that's why I get bothered by people who talk about game news like it's meant for them.
Yeah.
This game's not meant for you then. If they make a new Sonic game and you don't like Sonic, don't worry about it.
Yeah, like, I guess I get that people are like, Sony's just trying to do a money grab with it. Like, especially with the stunt they pulled with how they delivered these games. But, I mean, the game itself is for fans of the game, just to have an updated look at it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a remake.
But now, being a fan, it feels like a cash grab because it's not even polished.
Yeah, yeah, that bugs
bugs,
me.
like it's tiny things, but like you're Naughty Dog, you're like the premier studio. This is a premier property.
Yeah.
This is a game that has existed twice over, and he can't plug the generator in this time. It just feels bad.
Yeah, that's just not a good way. It's not a good look, Sony.
Yeah. Now I beat it in 3 days. I loved it again. Because it's still one of the best games that's ever existed. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, good game.
I love it. It's a very good game. But with the bugs, and then you brought up how it was delivered, and I have to tell you that shitstorm. Oh, God, I'm gonna fucking out myself for you guys on here, and you're going to get so pissed at me. I kept watching for that thing to be shipped even.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play it on my day off, the day that it was coming out. And it hadn't shipped still. Thursday, the day before Friday.
My God.
So I bought it digital.
Of course you did.
I bought it digital and went ahead and played it at midnight Thursday and began my Last of Us journey again, right?
Yeah.
Because I was ready to play it. And then it ships like Friday morning, and I was like, oh, fuck, so it would have been here. But way later in the day.
Right.
Because it got here at 5:30.
Okay.
So I would have missed the whole day, because then we left to go somewhere that didn't pan out. Now, I saw it come in. I didn't look at it yet. I did my thing, going out, not going anywhere. I came home, and it's in the thinnest, you go to the post office, and they just have, the bubble mailers.
Yeah, just the little middle envelope.
Yeah, it was in that.
That's ridiculous for a collector's edition
For a
item.
collector's edition. Okay? It was crumpled to shit. It was open on the bottom because it had been scraped open. Tons of people have photos of their package scraped open, right?
That's insane to me.
So yeah, my box was crumpled. Everybody's box is fucking crumpled. If there exists a pristine copy of this, I would like to see it.
It's going to be worth so much.
Yeah. Well, I already threw my box away. I fucking chunked the box.
Trash. Like,
it was ruined.
Yeah, you sent pictures in the secret Discord. It was just totally messed up. Not worth keeping.
I kept the steelbook inside, which was pristine still, so the box served that purpose.
Yeah.
And then it came with like a comic book. And I was like, well, I mean, that's fine. I don't need to store that in a box, you know?
Yeah.
So basically, I paid $100 for a steelbook.
You're a
it
mess.
feels bad, dude.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it was supposed to be nice and have a nice presentation piece, but it's awful.
Yeah, Sony's a mess.
Well, so here's the thing. People are rightly upset, don't you think?
Yeah.
They paid $100 for a collector's item that they are going to throw away now.
That got delivered by like a punt.
Yeah. Sony is not replacing these.
Of course not. Why would they?
They have no interest in replacing them. There's a loophole for it.
A loophole?
Yeah, you want to know why they don't have to replace them?
Okay.
This is what people don't know. They didn't ship them out.
Who shipped them?
They hired a third-party company to ship all these out. So if it got fucked up, Sony shouldn't have to replace it.
That is...
I think they planned that shit.
Oh my God, of course they did. Fucking Jim Ryan.
Dude, I don't know why there's not a mutiny against Jim Ryan at that company.
Honestly. What?
They had Sean Layton, who did the PS4 launch, and rose PlayStation to a success it has never known.
Yeah.
And then he hands it off to the next guy, and you're watching him sink the Titanic, dude.
He's just like rubbing his ass all over it, like naked man. I don't know what he's doing.
Dude, I have not hated being in this community in a long time. I mean, the PS3 time was pretty bad, you know.
Yeah.
But I was more in the 360 camp at that time.
Right.
And then PS4 came around, and boy howdy, man, they took off, and I was in with it, man.
Riding that Sony pony to the clouds.
I've been a hardcore Sony pony since PS4 for sure.
Yeah.
I've always I gamed on both pretty much equally. And then it became just pretty much PlayStation only.
Right.
When like the PS4 came out. The only reason I don't want an Xbox is there's no games there. There's nothing that I want there. Like I want Gears of War. There's no Gears of War right now.
Yeah.
Oh dude, the day Fable comes out, I will have a fucking Xbox Series X, and I'm going to play the fuck out of Fable, dude.
They announced the new Fable, but they didn't give a date or any kind of like indication of when
Which I respect,
what it's going to be.
Because this guy who's leading it came out in an interview and said, I desperately want to show you gameplay.
Yeah.
But we're withholding it because I want my team to work on it and not waste time crafting a demo to show you for PR when they could be developing the real game instead.
Yeah.
Why pull resources for an image and take away from the development?
That's
100% agree. I trust you. Take your time and give me that flawless game when it comes out.
Yeah.
I will gladly wait for Fable. I love Fable, dude. Have you ever played a Fable game?
I haven't.
You would fucking love Fable, dude.
That's what Richard tells me.
It's the only fantasy game I've ever loved. And you know I don't do fantasy stuff very much, but I always loved Fable.
Okay, maybe Fable is worth checking out.
So anyway, Sony hired a different company to ship those packages out. Therefore, they're in liability.
Too bad.
But they
sad.
can't replace it. They didn't make it. It feels bad. It feels
bad.
It feels bad to be enjoying this game because I'm enjoying it again. I love it.
Yeah.
But everything surrounding it is 100% bad.
Yeah, that
I
sucks.
cannot hide that shit, and I will because that makes me mad. I paid for that collector's.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I literally feel like I've wasted some money.
I'm mad on your behalf. Like, it sucks.
I don't like wasting money.
No.
So, good game. Bad execution on getting me this game.
Yeah.
It was a 1 out of 10.
Unfortunate. I didn't tell you what I've been doing with my TV.
With your TV?
Yeah. Our internet went out the other day, which sucked. But that's beside the point, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that part of the story. You can cut that part.
I thought you were going to tell me because it was out for like 5 years or some shit. Like, wasn't it out for like 2 full days?
My internet? No, it was out for like 1 day.
That's still. I think I brought it up because I asked you what you did with your time.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh, did other things."
Yeah, I did other things.
Because there's some people that I think if the internet went out, they'd be lost.
Right.
They have no other option but online.
I mean, we downloaded a game on the Switch, so we were just playing through that.
See,
so
there you go.
Enough. Nice.
Yeah.
But no, so my TV. We got a new type of TV, and I wanted to talk about it with you because I don't know if you have dipped your toes in this.
Okay.
So we've been with like Spectrum for a long time because they bundle like our internet and phone, or not phone. Who has phones? They bundle our internet and cable, and it's like expensive.
Oh yeah, you have TV like a weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, I like TV. So
do you watch TV though?
Yeah, I watch reality TV and I watch sports. So
okay,
I need TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been with Spectrum for a long time now, and it's expensive, and the service has always been kind of shitty. Like, it always goes down, or the TV like pixelates, or the guide doesn't work, or the remote just craps out for no reason at all. And
I mean, I've been with Spectrum just as long, so
they suck, dude.
I know.
I hate them so much. So we decided to like fully cut the cable cord and have instead opted for YouTube TV, which I didn't know was like a thing.
Yeah.
And it's working out pretty well. We had initially gotten on with Richard's family because they had a family plan, and we just like jumped on there. And what sucked about that was they live in Arkansas, so we had like Arkansas TV.
Oh.
And if you're watching outside of like a local area, it's like you can't do that.
Yeah.
So we couldn't watch live TV. We had to settle for like recorded TV a day later, which was not fun. So we were like, let's just get our own plan. And ended up doing that. And so far I'm loving it. And it's a lot cheaper. I think we were paying like $220 for Spectrum a month, and YouTube TV is like $90.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but you were also, that included your internet though, right?
Yeah, and we still have the same internet. Like we didn't change our internet at all. I don't know what we pay for that, but
I pay like $100, I think.
Yeah, we're saving like $100 a month. I think it's worth it.
I'm all for that. You know why?
Why?
When I wanted to watch the Olympics in
2020,
when did I house sit? That was last year in 2021. Oh yeah, because the 2020 Olympics were held a year later.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So last year in 2021, I did a free trial of YouTube TV because I could watch it live, right?
Yeah.
You know how hard it was for me to not keep it?
It's pretty good.
I really liked it, dude. I really liked it.
I like it too.
Because my mom and dad do Hulu with live TV.
Yeah.
So their TV's through Hulu. I really don't like it. The user setup is atrocious.
Yeah.
It works well enough, but it stutters a lot. Like it'll just like cut to black and then show like a loading bar and then pick up like where you left off.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't understand.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's super weird. But YouTube, I mean, we complain about the mouse, but I mean, the Goog. The Goog takes a lot of that money too, and
honestly,
we feed him just as well because Google has good shit sometimes. I'm sorry.
Google does have good shit, and they give you nice things.
YouTube is good because I pay for YouTube Red.
Yeah.
And I use YouTube Music, and YouTube Music is my favorite music service I've ever used.
I've been using it a little bit because I do have YouTube Red now. I got on Richard's plan with that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. I like it.
It's pretty good. Yes. YouTube shit's good.
It's good. I like it. Like, I have no complaints so far with YouTube TV. I'm really enjoying it. Like, the one thing is that I can't get local Dallas Stars games because they air on Bally TV or whatever. It's like a stupid network. But
yeah, like a separate thing.
We can just stream those online, so we're going to do that.
There you go. I would like a run-through, though, next time I'm over, because...
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it on my tablet. Like, because you just get the YouTube TV app on your tablet, and so I was watching TV on my fucking... You can watch it on your fucking tablet.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's great.
It's good.
I loved it, man. I guess my question is DVR stuff.
Uh-huh. It's so convenient.
I don't want to sound like so fucking poor in my life, man, but I've never had a DVR. I have no...
Really?
I have no use case of like recording. The only time I recorded TV was on a VHS.
Oh my God.
Like record TV that way.
Oh my God. Okay.
But I've never had TiVo when that started.
Yeah.
And I've never paid for cable since then.
Yeah.
When it got like rolled into cable packages. So I've never had a DVR.
Ugh.
Now Hulu makes you pay quite a bit for some storage.
Do they?
Yeah. What's up with YouTube TV?
I think it's unlimited. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's unlimited.
I think it is too. That's why I was going to ask, because now that you have it, I think it is too.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably sign you up on our plan, to be honest, because...
Maybe, dude.
We'll split some costs.
Yeah, dude. I would totally fucking go in on that. I would totally go in on that.
Oh, that's good, Jared.
You want to do that? I'll give you some fucking money.
Okay.
Okay, because I know what you're talking about with... I wonder how it's going to work on YouTube TV, because I couldn't even use my parents' Hulu with live TV a city away.
Oh, my God.
It was
it
like,
should be fine
whoa,
with YouTube.
whoa, hey. You're not in 75056.
Oh
You're
God,
in 75063. If you want to change it to that one, it deactivate it. What
Sorry,
the fuck
what?
did I say? It will deactivate it over there for them. What you want to do? And so I just never used it. And check this shit out. Okay. You ready for this one?
No, but okay.
When I went to Colorado with them in 2020, they wanted to watch TV. And I was like, dude, you pay for TV. And we have the Hulu app. We can just sign in and then watch TV up here with your plan, right? And the way it works is you can change your zip code 3 times a year.
Oh, my God.
So, okay, you ready? Went to Colorado. It was set up as their home address. We changed it once to where we were in Colorado to be able to use it.
Yeah.
When they got home, swapped it back.
Oh, my God.
And now they could change it one time, and then it would be stuck in whatever that was.
Damn.
So I was like, don't go on vacation and log in somewhere else because you won't be able to use it when you get home.
Yeah.
But, like, that's how complicated it was.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, with YouTube TV, I know that you can't switch family plans more than twice in a year because I was on my own and I got on Richard's family plan to get the YouTube Red, and then we got on his family's family plan to get the YouTube TV, and now he's gone back to our family plan, but I can't, so I'm still with my in-laws.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we can probably add another user, no trouble, because we had like 6 people on my in-laws family plan, so...
Wild. I would probably just put it on one TV and be done with it.
It's so easy. Like, DVRing is so simple. This is not an advertisement. We are not sponsored, just passionate. I think it's the easiest form of TV I've ever used because half the time with Spectrum, for whatever reason, like you tape it on the fucking box in the bedroom and it doesn't work because you taped it on the living room on accident or whatever. Or the box gets, I don't know, too hot and you lose all your DVR space or whatever.
Yeah.
And with YouTube TV, it's all just like stored in the YouTube. So you just say like, I want to watch Big Brother, and YouTube remembers that, and it just stores all the Big Brothers for you. And then when you've watched them, it's like, you're done. It's fine. It goes away.
Good.
It's so easy.
Do you have... I like how I'm just like cutting a deal live on the show. Do you have Cartoon Network? Do you have Boomerang?
Probably.
That's the only 2 stations I want.
YouTube.
I'm only going to live in Cartoon World.
Cartoon Network. Yeah.
Okay, Boomerang? Because I want to watch Quick Draw McGraw all day long.
What the fuck?
He's the donkey that turns into a superhero, El Kabong, and smacks you with his mariachi guitar.
Well, unfortunately, YouTube TV does not offer Boomerang with the streaming service.
That's all right. If there's some new Steven Universe type show that comes out on Cartoon Network, I can be there day one.
Okay.
So, all right. I think about it. Dude, I'm not going to watch like normal TV. Do you know what I watch on theirs now?
Boomerang?
Impractical Jokers. That's it.
Okay.
I've seen every single one so many times, it's not even funny.
I have no frame of reference for that show.
I mean, it's good.
I don't want one.
It's fine enough.
Okay, a show that I am watching, though. So the new Game of Thrones series is out, House of the Dragon, I think it's called.
Yes.
So I watched episode 1 because I wanted to, like, give it a runway.
Because you were obligated.
I was obligated. You know, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. I loved Game of Thrones so much. I love the way that it ended. Do not fight me. I will win. So I wanted to watch House of the Dragon, but I wanted to give it a couple of episodes so that I had like a couple to run with, you know?
Okay.
And so I decided to watch just episode 1 on like week 3 or something. And I had refused to look up anything about it because I didn't want to hear anything. I didn't want to go in with like preconceived notions.
Yeah.
And I did that. I went in just totally blank slate. And I was, you know, moderately enjoying it. It was very much like a setup episode. So there's a lot of like, this character is this person and they're related to this person in this way. And this is what time period we're in.
Okay.
And then, okay. So I have a feeling that you're going to enjoy this for all the wrong reasons because it got so gory in like the worst possible way. So
like worse than Red Wedding?
Yes.
Okay.
It was so bad. Okay. So, and people on Twitter too, they were like, was this scene worse than the Red Wedding? And I was like, yeah, it was.
Okay.
There's a woman that you meet at the like top of the show, and she's like extremely pregnant, and they have this whole scene where she's like, I've tried to have babies 10 times and I've had 5 miscarriages and then a bunch of kids that died when they were super young and they've all been girls. I can't give an heir to my husband for whatever reason. So they're like hoping and praying that this one's going to be the heir. And she's like, this is the last baby I will have. And I'm like, oh, that's shitty foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So it comes to the time where she's having the baby and it's like a horrible childbirth scene. I hate childbirth scenes. I hate them. I hate seeing
it's always
sweaty,
just screaming.
Yes. Sweaty, screaming women. I feel bad for them and it just looks painful, even though I know it's not real.
I know. Like you always hear women be like, that's not how it is at all. We're not just like freaking out. Like,
I mean, you never know until you're there, I guess.
Well, yeah.
But okay, so this woman is like fully in labor, and then the dude pulls the king aside, and he's like, "The baby's in breach, so it's going to be a situation where like, do you want your baby?
Okay,
or
well,
do you want
I can
your
see
wife?"
where this is going. Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, "We have this new technology where we can like cut the baby out of the womb. It's gonna kill your wife, but it'll save the baby." And he's just like, oh, I need that air. So they cut the baby out. And I was like, they're just going to like show the knife to the belly and then we're going to cut away from this. No, they show the whole process. And I can't tell you exactly what happens because I was like, we're going to fast forward. And
because you blacked out?
Did. I felt like I was going to. Like, we're eating dinner watching this shit. And I was like, I can't have Chipotle and that in my life at the same time. So we fast forwarded to like the end of the scene. And you see, like, even at the end of the scene, this woman is just like laid out on the bed with like blood all around her and shit. And she's still got like the horrible belly happening, and they pull this kid out, and the kid is all nasty looking, of course, because it's a baby, just fresh out the womb, covered in jelly or whatever. And so then it's like, oh, happy, at least you have an heir. It's your son now. You finally got a son. And then it cuts away from that, and then it cuts to like a scene where somebody whispers something to somebody, and they're like, oh no. And then it cuts to another scene where it's just like this little infant wrapped up because it fucking died hours after it was born because it just didn't survive. And so like the man loses his wife and his baby all on the same day. And it's just, I was like, this is regrettably sad and I don't have the stomach for it right now. So I'm probably going to give it a shot again once the first season.
It kind of just sounds like Game of Thrones to me.
It was just so violent. I did not expect them to show the whole like cutting open the womb scene. I was not prepared for it.
Okay. Can you look at it this way? What was HBO Max at the time? That was the place where you could do anything. You could cuss, you could do all that stuff. And then Netflix came around, and it was like, oh, you can do anything on a streaming service. So HBO Max just had to one-up themselves.
I guess. They're like, yeah, what can we do that hasn't been done yet? Let's cut open a woman's womb.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
I mean, I will probably check it out for the effects just to see how it looks, but I'm still not going to watch the show.
Yeah, I don't think you would like it. It's very political. Like, that's the whole premise of the show, is just the politics of the throne. Which is funny, because we just talked about how I'm not into the royal throne, like, in real life. But this Game of Thrones shit is, like, right up my alley.
Yeah, I don't like it, man.
Ugh.
But I'm sorry that you had to have Chipotle while that happened because I can picture the food too, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch the show either.
Bowl.
I'll just do this one real quick. It wasn't a whole lot, but I
Okay.
talked in Friday Roundup last week. Not last week, actually, the week before, that National Cinema Day happened on September 3rd, right?
Tell me about it. Did you go see some movies?
I saw one movie on Cinema Day.
Okay.
We'll get to that one later. But on Monday, so Labor Day, I went and saw a movie alone because nobody wanted to see it. And that's fine. I didn't expect anybody to want to see it. But I went and saw Jaws.
Oh, fuck.
In Real D 3D.
Whoa.
In IMAX.
No!
He was big and ugly.
Ugh.
When I watch the movie, I'm never scared of that movie.
Okay.
It's such a good movie. Oh my god. That movie still, at like 50 years old,
Whoa.
holds up. That movie holds up good.
Does the shark look good?
I mean, I think so.
Okay.
But the big thing that people hate it for is that the shark looks from he's like a stage effect from the 70s.
Okay.
They want a nice CG one, but man, I think the practical one just works so good. And yeah, he doesn't swim correctly. Whatever. Like, I don't care,
Okay.
I think it's good. I think he still looks fucking... There's like 2 shots that I think of that I'm like, yeah, he looks good. And then, yes, there's others that you're like, sharks don't do that.
You can see the metal inside of his mouth.
No, but sharks don't just sit there and just
Chomp.
chomp with their mouths never fully closing.
Yeah.
He always goes like this,
Uncanny Valley shark.
But so I went to see it. I'm sitting in the theater, and when I bought my ticket, it was kind of empty. And I got there a little late, and it's not packed, but there was a lot of people there.
Okay.
I don't think anybody was older than me.
Oh no. You were the old man in the audience?
Yeah.
Weird.
And I put my stuff down because I wanted to pee before the movie. So I put my stuff down, and there were 2 girls next to where I was going to be. And I was like, well, they're probably going to think it's weird if I just come sit next to them. So I was like, hopefully no one bought seats further down the row, and I'll scooch one because that's considerate. She's with her friend. I'm not just going to be the weird guy hey, and sit next to him.
So, how old are you?
So I scooched over one, and I think they were appreciative. They didn't say anything, but they didn't get weird about it,
Yeah.
And so they were kind of talking, and I guess maybe the one girl was kind of scared. And I was like, I'm digging this. This movie seems to still have the same effect, right?
Yeah.
And then the entire, and I mean the entire row in front of me, a solid row, that's 20 seats.
Yeah.
Was one giant group of dudes.
Okay.
That were 16.
Oh my god.
And so, they're doing your typical 16-year-old things. There's a new commercial out where it's when you come to Cinemark, get your drinks and your snacks on the app. That way you won't have to go stand in line and miss your turn. So the guy comes in late to the movie and they're already gasping and they freak out. And then the guy goes, "Can you believe that just happened?" And he goes, "No," because he wasn't there.
Okay.
And every single one of the boys on there goes, "No, you get it? Because he didn't see it." And they all start laughing and freaking out. And I was like, what is happening? Shut up. That's not even a good joke about the failed joke. I don't know. It was weird. And so then they're all discussing it, but they were discussing it in a weird hipster way. They didn't know what it was even.
What?
Yeah, they were just kind of yeah, so this movie was made 1975. Whoa. You didn't know that when you bought an entire row of tickets?
Oh my god, what?
Who bought these tickets for you?
Did they think it was a Sharknado sequel?
I don't know. But they were 75, and this guy's how long ago was that? And he's like, you got a calculator?
Oh my god.
And so they're having a full-blown conversation about having no idea what this movie is.
In the middle of the movie?
No, before it started.
Okay, good.
Everybody did really good in the movie, which I was happy about. Because a different movie we saw, which I'll talk about later, a guy was watching YouTube the entire movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it was... Ugh. But, that movie was still so good. I was still so impressed. I kind of forget what it's about.
Yeah.
I just remember the shark parts.
Sure.
But it's a good movie. And it ended, and these kids were like, kind of changed. They like, really liked it. Everybody was like super like, that movie was really good. And I was like, I didn't expect these reactions because I've played it for other people, and they were like, yeah, it's boring. They didn't care for it. So I was just like, wow, like, I don't know. That's probably going to happen to us one day. What if we show The Crow to kids one day?
Oh my God.
You hope they're going to like it, but it's older. So what if they don't, Mm-hmm. Like, Jaws means a lot to me. I have seen that movie so many times. It's so good.
It's part of your identity.
And the fact that there's kids that they didn't even know what it was, and they watched it and were still like, this movie is great. That just felt cool to me as like a film buff guy. I was super stoked that only kids went to see it, and they all left thinking it was like the coolest movie.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I had a good time. Would you like to take a break?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's do that. I think Disney Plus is ruining their properties. Like, all of them.
I think that they're doing the shotgun approach. Like, we're going to find one little pellet that everybody will like,
But I don't want that.
Yeah, I want a sniper approach. Just give me one good bullet. Take me fucking out.
Hit me. Just
the show was so good.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of what we discussed with binging a show versus watching it week by week. It's an entirely different way. Like, having a constant feed of content is so different than wanting, like, you get the content, you're full, and then, like, time goes by, and then you're like, man, I missed that. Like, I kind of wish I had some.
Yeah.
And then you're rewarded with some. We don't ever need to want it. We already know it's there.
Right.
We can forget about it and then catch up later. Like,
it's a buffet of mediocre shrimp.
Yeah, I want big shrimps. I want jumbo shrimps, okay?
Dungeness crab legs.
Yeah.
Sustainably farmed.
If you guys enjoyed that little bit of the pre-ramble, you can get that full bonus episode by going on over to patreon.com/YMBTOAP and signing up to be a patron. We truly appreciate all of you patrons that support us and what we do. We hope that you guys enjoy it, stick around, and we have just a good time together.
Extra special thank you to the patrons who joined us for our roundtable discussion of Yimtope the other day. That was a lot of fun. Got some good insight from our very favorite people.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out some more things that you guys want, tailor this to be a better show for you guys. So we had a little call, which if you're in the Patreon, you could be on a call and kind of give your 2 cents. What do you want from the show,
Yeah.
But if you just want something right now, you want to go be that extra little step of a supporter, you can go to the Yimtope Apparel store, get you some Yimtope gear. That link is in our show notes, and it's starting to get cool. It's hoodie season. We don't have sweaters, so it's not sweater weather.
We have sweaters.
But there's sweaters?
Yeah, we got sweaters. It's sweater weather.
Dude, I don't even know what we sell. We have too much stuff.
I got an Apple sweater last year, and I'm ready to bust it out.
Dude, see? Look at that. We're covering you for all kinds of stuff. I am repping just the plain old logo tee, which when we went to Podcast Movement seemed to be quite popular.
It was popular.
Now, Kelsey's wearing our Every Monday, and I gotta say, that's a sharp shirt, man.
I love this shirt.
That's a crispy shirt. I quite like that one. And again, thank you to all you guys. You're why we're here. Like, we just want to have a good time with you guys, and thank you for joining us on the ride. And with that, let's get you back to that regularly scheduled content. Okay, man. Okay, dude.
Okay.
Okay, lady dude. I saw this thing on TikTok the other day, and I have been utterly consumed by this.
Okay.
That you put this in the show notes to discuss, and I was thrilled.
Okay.
So let me preface with how I got into this mess.
Yes, please.
And I'd like to know how you got in on it.
Okay.
I saw a simple TikTok that simply was like, Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine at the new premiere for this movie. And I watched it, and I was like, I mean, he does the movement. Like, I could see you saying that, but, like, why, though?
See, I haven't even seen, like, unedited footage. I've just seen memed footage of, like, him dropping a goat on Chris Pine or something.
Maybe I can send you a TikTok later. I mean, like,
let me see if I can Google it. Harry Styles.
When you spit, you know, your head moves in a certain way. You kind of go like this, like you kind of like spit
like
forward
head
some.
thrust.
He does that when he goes to sit down, and at that exact moment, Chris Pine stops applauding when he walked in. So, I mean, yeah, I guess he could have, right?
Okay.
I'm not so sold on that. It's not the fact that I watched that footage. It was just, I wanted to know, why are you mad at Chris Pine? Because Chris Pine's so good. Like, he's such a good dude. That's all I cared about.
Okay.
So I start digging into this thing, and all I want to know is, why are you mad at Chris Pine? Because he's such a good dude.
Uh-huh.
And I keep getting things about Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde. And then Shia LaBeouf comes into the picture. And I was like, but why are you mad at Chris Pine? He's such a good dude.
This is a whole mess. Like, I don't even know.
Where did you come into this?
Okay, so I've just been seeing a lot of trends on Twitter. Like, I saw something about Miss Flo, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And then I kept seeing stuff about Olivia Wilde. And then I heard stuff about Jason Sudeikis as well. And I was like, are they breaking up?
So see, you're in the actual drama.
Yeah.
I was just stuck on, why you mad at Chris Pine? Because again, he's such a good dude.
And I don't think there's a resolution to that, unfortunately.
So guess what? This is the resolution. There is no drama. None of that happened. It's all about everybody else.
Basically.
So I was like, why am I wrapped up in this? I'm hearing all this drama for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but it was interesting what all went down, though.
It was really interesting. So I'm kind of disappointed because it's all surrounding the movie Don't Worry, Darling. And that looks like a really good movie, like a psychological thriller. Yeah. But now I'm like, am I supposed to not see this movie because of all the shit that's happening around it? So it just looks like a good horror movie, but like a creepy Stepford horror movie. And I love that kind of shit. But anyway, okay, so there's this person on Twitter whose name is MoreHN, if you want to go check out this Twitter thread. And Taylor tweeted this at you, which is also why I dove into it, because I was like, what's happening in here?
Well, she knew that I had been trying to solve this for so long.
You're like spiraling?
Oh, dude, when she sent it, I stopped working and just like read through the whole thing and learned that the answer to my question was, I'm not gonna get an answer to that question.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of summarize the Twitter thread here. So the whole drama started when Olivia Wilde, who's the director of this movie, Don't Worry, Darling, she hires Shia LaBeouf to play the husband, and Florence Pugh is cast to play the wife. And apparently, I didn't know this, but Shia LaBeouf is like really creepy with women and is being sued by his ex, who's a really good musician. Her name is FKA Twigs. I love her. He's being sued for like horrific abuse against her, I guess.
But so like, Florence, didn't we know he was already a wild dude?
I knew he was a cannibal and chases you in the woods and that kind of stuff.
Oh, so you don't know about like his stuff?
No. And
he is like wild.
While we're on the topic of Shia LaBeouf, I was over at my parents' house and Fox News was on, and there was a whole segment on Shia LaBeouf, and it was like, actor finds God and comes to reckoning with his life. And my dad was like, who is Shia LaBeouf? And I was like, why is this a segment?
You said even Stevens, brah.
But
yeah, that's part of the whole thing. So like, he's a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
And he's been doing some like really wild thing, like the whole just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Like that's when he was like in some deep dark shit.
Wow. Okay. Didn't know that.
But like, I watched this interview and I think he was on the Red Table show thing.
The Red
with,
Table.
Jada Pinkett. What's the name of her show? Red Table show, right?
I don't remember, but
Red Round Table or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, he was like talking about his come to whatever moment, and he was like, yeah, like the girl that I lost my virginity to, I held a knife to her throat. Like, that's
Holy
a real thing
shit.
I did.
Oh
and
my God.
Like, I think it's like child star stuff, you know how like that kind of drives him a little wild?
Yeah.
Well, he went wild, and like he's just been on substances most of his life, and he finally had like I don't want to be this person, and he's been sober for like 2 years now, and it's like fantastic for him. Very good.
Okay, well, good for you, Shia, for getting sober.
But yeah, he's got baggage.
Yeah. So because of the casting, Florence Pugh came to Olivia Wilde, the director, and she was like, I'm creeped out to be working with Shia LaBeouf. I don't know about this, because the movie apparently has a lot of sex scenes in it.
Yeah.
So they fire Shia off the movie, and he's replaced by Harry Styles. And Olivia Wilde, again, the director, is also dating Harry Styles, which is a little awkward. And
breaking up with Jason Sudeikis, who they'd been engaged for like 9 years.
Yeah. And there's like rumors about whether or not they were dating while they were married, or if it's just after the breakup. It's just a little awkward, I imagine. So Olivia, who is eager to be taken seriously as a director, does an interview with Variety, and everybody in Hollywood reads it. And she basically says in there that she fired Shia LaBeouf to keep Florence Pugh safe from an abuser. And Shia LaBeouf reads that, and he calls out this combative energy and says he wasn't fired. He quit. And then he... so that's a classic move, right? To be like, oh, you can't fire me, I quit. And I was like, I don't know if I believe that. But then there's like video evidence of Olivia Wilde begging Shia LaBeouf to stay on the movie.
Yeah, and he has emails, like texts and stuff. Yeah.
So this is where Miss Flo comes in. So in the emails, Wilde is begging him to stay on the film, saying she will intervene with Miss Flo, who she portrays as being too sensitive. So she's obviously lying to Variety magazine in this, and she didn't protect Florence Pugh during all this. So Florence sees this, and she's pissed about it. And they're all doing a press tour at this time for the film, which is making things really bad. And like, it's being shown at some, festival overseas or something.
Yeah.
But they're all supposed to be there together, and it's just making everything very tense and bad.
Like, I don't know what your reference is for Florence Pugh.
I have nothing.
But from what I understand, she's everything you want. She's nice. She is wholesome goodness in like, people like her. She is good people.
Okay.
And she has not promoted this movie once.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. So Florence Pugh has been just like saying nothing. She's absolutely declining to comment on the movie. She won't say anything about the director, nothing about the actual film. She starts giving statements about how the film is being reduced to its sex scenes. Yeah. Which then Olivia Wilde takes that as criticism of her, because she's been promoting the sex scenes as revolutionary, whatever that means. And she's instructing Harry Styles.
I want to see it.
Really?
Be like, what does that mean? Like, how is this
like Cirque du Soleil? What's going on in there?
Yeah, like, explain, you know?
Yeah. So Florence Pugh, meanwhile, is just skipping press conferences and is kind of doing a conscientious objecting. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
But they're all in Venice together, and they're supposed to be touring and promoting. And Chris Pine is just
he's such a good dude.
Have you seen the photos and videos of him?
Yes,
on these press tours.
He does my face.
Oh my God.
In a bunch of them, man.
He just like, his eyes disappear into the back of his head. He is checked out. He is absolutely not having any of it. Like, I don't even think he's talking in the interviews. He's just staring into space. And I'm like, dang, shit's getting weird. So then Florence Pugh starts posting pictures of her in like these really elaborate dresses, and she's just like having a good time in Venice, like not doing stuff for the film. And she captions the photos Miss Flo, which I love.
Yeah.
And then Harry Styles, I guess, are having a fight. I don't know. They're like refusing to touch. They won't sit next to each other.
Yeah, because they made Chris Pine sit between them at the showing.
And then, so whenever Harry like stands up to get, I guess there was a standing ovation or something for the film. Yes, the Venice Film Festival. Harry Styles like looks around and fucking grabs Nick Kroll and just kisses him full open on the lips instead of, you know, Olivia. I do not know what is happening in this.
It's a lot.
It's so much.
Here was my whole thing. Why is Harry mad at Chris? And it turns out
I don't know.
He's not.
Yeah. So
he's mad at Olivia because of everything else. Like, I didn't know about Shy And like, I didn't know all of this. All I saw was, did Harry Styles really spit on Chris Pine in a TikTok? And I saw 15 of them, and I was like, yeah, why did he? Because that's weird.
Yeah.
And then it grew into, oh, they're not even part of the drama.
No, like, so yeah, there's that moment after the standing ovation when Harry goes to sit down and he like looks at Chris Pine. He does something with his head, with his mouth, and then sits down and Chris Pine stops applauding. And it's just confusing. It's just like, we weird. Don't know. Nobody knows what happened. And then I guess Florence Pugh refuses to make eye contact with Olivia Wilde during the ovation, and then walks out and then completely. Leaves. Yeah. And then I guess people are contractually obligated to follow her or something, because then they also walk out. I don't know. It's very, very bizarre. And then you get like down into the deep depths of this Twitter thread, and apparently there's a QAnon connection. And I don't know about any of that. I don't know enough to comment on that, but that just sounds like a whole other basket of worms.
I could totally talk about more things I've seen with this, but at the end of the day, we still have no idea what's really going on.
No, like, I mean, it's
to me, it sounds like it's the Shia LaBeouf aspect, and Olivia Wilde is trying to come off as like
the savior.
This bigger thing than is really happening, and it's making everybody else feel uncomfortable because they were there and know that's not what happened.
Yeah, it's just weird to me that she's dating Harry Styles and he's the lead and is just like in among all of this drama. It must be awkward.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Venice Film Festival, you want to know something amazing though?
Yeah.
What do you know about The Whale? Have you heard about this movie?
No.
Okay. It's Brendan Fraser's first movie in a long time.
Hell yeah.
Okay. If you are new to Yimtope, we love Brendan Fraser here.
We're big fans. We have 2 emojis of him in the Discord.
If you don't like him, get out. You are not welcome.
Don't let the door hit you.
Brendan Fraser is a treasure.
Yes.
Now, I'm not getting into his past and all the things that have happened, but he was out of Hollywood for things that had happened to him, right?
Yeah.
He's just had a very bad deal of the deck, right?
Yeah.
Well, he comes back and he's doing this movie called The Whale.
Okay.
They show the film and they give him alone a 6-minute standing ovation.
That is nuts. Like when you think about
6
clapping
minutes.
for 6 minutes, that's a long
for one
long
man.
Time. Yeah.
But I don't know how much you've gotten on Brendan Fraser TikTok, right?
Not a whole lot.
Oh my God. Everybody on this earth is trying to make him understand how much we love him because he doesn't believe it.
Aw.
He really doesn't believe that he's worth the acclaim and the affection that he receives.
Sad.
Because he hasn't had a lot of it in the past 10 years.
He's worth all of it and more.
So, real quick, he got a divorce right after The Mummy 3 happened, right?
Okay.
Your alimony is based off of your most recent pay.
Oh, fuck.
And he just got paid for The Mummy 3. That was huge, right?
Yeah.
And he got injured while filming The Mummy 3, so he could no longer work. So
terrible.
Now he's having to pay Mummy 3 check alimony and not working. So he lost every dime he ever made.
Fuck.
I mean, he's literally broke. He has nothing.
That's awful.
And all that finally clears up, and now he's back doing movies. And he can do what he wants, and he can do all this stuff. And
Good.
The world's trying to let him know, we missed you, and we
Yeah.
want you back. And he doesn't feel it yet. And so he gets this 6-minute ovation. And if you look at him, like, he's like, I don't need, like, he can't accept, like, I cried when I watched it. Because, like, I want him to know that he's loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's controversy as well.
Why?
I don't know if you knew this. So The Whale is about a 600-pound college professor, and it's like him. I don't think it's him like trying to lose the weight. It's just his life in being a 600-pound college professor and maybe making connections and getting kind of outside of his bubble, right?
Okay.
Brendan Fraser is a little overweight these days, but he's nowhere near 600 pounds.
No.
So he wears a fat suit for the movie.
Okay.
Brendan Fraser needs to be canceled. You could have gotten a 600-pound man to play the part. You guys fat shaming people by letting Brendan Fraser play the role.
That's fucking annoying. I hate that so much. I know that there's a whole thing in Hollywood where like you need to hire people for the role. Like if you're casting something for like a gay role, you're wanting a gay actor. I understand that kind of shit. Or like somebody who's disabled. You want to have a disabled person in that role with a disability.
Yeah.
And I get it to an extent with like fat characters, but is this movie about making fun of Brendan Fraser being fat, or is it about a man on a journey? What's this movie about?
It's about a man on a journey.
Yeah. So...
Because it's not a comedy at all. Like, this is a serious role that they're thinking he might get Oscar buzz for.
Wow. That frustrates me to see people trying to cancel such a pure, gentle man for a crime that he did not commit.
Like, because like you said, I get it to an extent, right?
Yeah.
Yes, let's hire disabled actors in those roles, right?
Sure.
But Hollywood's not about exactly like real representation. It's about a fictionalized representation of everything you see.
Yeah.
So maybe to get across the point they're getting across, that actor or person cannot do it to the level that this movie's going for.
Yeah. Like, did you want Brendan Fraser to go gain 300 pounds? Like, what did you need from him?
Like, that's, well, like, even on, like, a disabled character. I mean, how much can they do the role the way it needs to be done?
Right, yeah.
And I think that's where you gotta, like, dude, okay, Walt Jr. from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Had an actual cerebral palsy person in the role.
Yeah.
And he does the role just fine. The role didn't require him to do anything outside of be himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, then I was thinking, okay, remember the clip that we got sent of Andrew Garfield in that movie called, like, Breathe or something, where he's got, like, the tracheotomy thing and they unplug his machine and he can't breathe for a bit?
Ooh, I do not remember that.
Oh, that scene's intense. You would die.
Ooh, probably.
I want to see the movie, but, like, should we not have had him do it? Should we have had somebody with that actual disease? They wouldn't have been able to act the parts before he had the disease, you know? Like,
yeah.
Where do you make that divide?
It frustrates me to see that kind of a stuff. Sia got under fire for this a couple of years ago when she made that movie Music.
Yes.
Did you hear about that? Because I know you love Sia.
So me and Taylor just talked about it. I want to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm told, but what is in it?
Yeah.
Because
like,
she said the reason it got in trouble was she used stereotypes.
Okay.
And I understand that to an extent, but stereotypes are not... The word has grown to mean inherently bad.
Yeah.
But it is not inherently bad to have a stereotype. It's not inherently bad to say white people like mayonnaise. A lot of them do.
I get it.
I personally don't, you know, but that's a stereotype.
Okay.
Because that's in Undercover Brother, which is one of my favorite movies. And that's probably why I hate mayonnaise, because they make it look so gross in that movie. But, like, there are stereotypes, but there are bad stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like, there's ones that make fun of an aspect of a group of people, right? Or there's ones that are valid. I don't think stereotype in and of itself as the word can be that broad of a, it's just bad.
Yeah.
But that's why I want to see the movie. What stereotypes are we bringing? Are we bringing the bad ones? Or are we bringing what can be applied to the people naturally? Like, I want to know, and I don't know.
So the premise of the movie Music, as far as I remember, is that it's an autistic person who communicates best through music or something.
Or dance or something, yeah.
Yeah, and she hired somebody who was not autistic to do the role, and she had her, quote-unquote, act autistic, which I don't know what that all entails, but she did specifically state, after all this, like, press junket came out and everyone was like, cancel Sia, she was like, well, I would have had an autistic person do the role, but with the grueling filming schedule and the like timeliness in which we wanted to get the movie out, I didn't want to put a person with this condition through that type of rigmarole, you know?
Boom. You kind of brought up something that we discussed as well. Oh, dude, me and Taylor went off on the Brendan Fraser thing, man. Fucking touch my boy. What about every single high school show that exists today?
They cast like a 35-year-old person?
Every single one of them is like 40 years old.
Yeah.
That is the exact same thing that you need to be mad at, but oh, you love those shows, you know?
Right.
There's such a double standard on it.
Yeah.
You can't get... Do you know why we hire the 40-year-olds to do it? Labor laws. We can't have young kids working the hours that they need to... Because actors under a certain age can only act so many hours of the day because they have to do school and stuff.
Right.
But an adult can act the full day and we can get this shit done.
Yeah.
That's why they do it. Hollywood is a business.
It is. It's a
you
machine.
have to do it efficiently to a point. Now, there are those passion projects that get the time to do it in that real, raw way.
Right.
And we appreciate those. But you can't pump out Andors and Marvel movies and all that shit without, you know...
Cutting corners.
Kinda. And it is cutting corners.
Yeah, I mean, some of it is valid. Like, you know, if you're making a movie about a trans person, you're probably going to want a trans person in that role.
Yeah.
I can see...
Which I understand, because that was the whole Danish girl thing.
What was that one?
Eddie Redmayne plays a trans girl.
Oh, right. Yeah, and everybody canceled Eddie over that.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
Me either.
But I think that also happened, like, before we really started, like, accepting trans people as much in society.
Yeah.
Because, like, would that movie have been... Again, Hollywood's a business. Would that movie have made less money because we did it accurately? Because at the time, people wouldn't have wanted to see it.
Well, there's a movie with Cillian Murphy where he played a woman, and nobody really batted an eye about that.
Well, then we were talking other movies with fat suits. What about Mike Myers in Austin Powers being Fat Bastard? What about Eddie Murphy in several movies?
The Clumps? Like, where's 6 fat suits in that?
Martin Lawrence doing Big Mama's House. We have instances where it happened. Oh, Taylor's big one. Okay, what about this one? Hairspray.
Oh my God, yes.
John Travolta plays not only a fat person, but a fat woman.
Yeah, and he's perfectly cast in that role, to be honest. Like, I can't picture anybody else in that role.
Well, that's the tradition of that role. That mom is always played by a man. Just like Peter Pan is always played by a girl.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way those two things work. That's why I'm like, you can't blanket statement some of this stuff, because there's gray areas all throughout.
Yeah.
You know?
That is so frustrating to me that Brendan Fraser's getting attacked like that.
But Brendan Fraser is the best. So shut up.
Beautiful, good human. Leave him alone.
Shut up. He's great. Now, you asked me earlier about seeing a movie on National Cinema Day for $3.
Yes.
I did go see a movie.
What'd you see?
Saw The Invitation.
Okay, so I've heard a lot about this movie.
What have you heard about this movie?
It's apparently about vampires, and I did not get that at all from the trailer.
I 100% got that from the trailer.
Okay.
Do you know what I 100% did not get from the trailer?
What?
That it is a smut movie.
Oh, okay. It looked more like a murder type movie.
Yeah. All the scenes from that they show, that happens in the last 5 minutes.
Oh my God, okay.
It is entirely a sexual tension building movie between this girl and this one guy that they're around each other for 2 days.
All right. So just like a slow burn vampire romance.
Yeah. That is not how that movie's billed.
No, not at all.
Now, here's the thing. I still liked it. It's a good movie.
Okay.
Was it what I went in for? 100% not. If I knew that that's what it was, I'd have been looking for that more and have appreciated that more. But I was looking for the murder mystery shit, right?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't pan out. I didn't get what I wanted from that aspect.
Yeah.
They bring it, and it lasts 5 minutes, and then it's over. And then, so I went with Taylor and a friend of ours, Mary, right?
Uh-huh.
They were looking for the same thing, but as soon as the smut got involved and it went on like a little too long, they were like, oh, this is the movie now, and we're here for it. So they completely dropped wanting the monster movie side, right?
All right.
And they're into the smut part. And then guess what? They ruined the smut part for them, so they weren't even satisfied.
What?
They mashed like 5 ideas together, but they focus solely on the romance. They go monster movie, buddy movie, kind of comedy, the end.
What a weird.
And that happens in like 5 minutes.
What the hell?
It was a weird movie. I still liked it. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. It was very good.
All right.
But it is not what you think, and it doesn't fulfill any one role.
So it just like, it's...
I don't know. Like, that's kind of the... like, can I just spoil it, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, tell all.
So here's the premise. Her parents died when she was younger.
Okay.
And she has no family now. So she works as like a caterer.
Okay.
And she's at some rich party thing, and one of her friends steals one of the gift bags, and it has a DNA test in there. Like one of the 23andMe things.
Okay.
So she's like, I don't have any family. What if I could find somebody, and then I'm not so lonely?
For some reason, I was thinking like, oh, I'm like 85% Transylvanian.
Oh, no. She just does the thing, sends it off, and this guy emails her in 3 weeks and is like, hey, you're my long-lost cousin. Let's meet up, because I'm in New York. So he meets up and goes, oh my God, you're like a legend in our family. Because my grandpa had slept with like somebody in the help, right? Like,
oh my God.
in like the 1800s or whatever. So he's like, he slept with like one of the maids, and then they didn't tell anybody, and they, like, she ran away, and then like, we know that it happened, but those people disappeared from our lives, so we never knew what became of it. And then here you are, you're that child because you have our blood in you and stuff, right?
Okay.
So he's like, oh, my cousin's getting married. Come to the wedding. So she goes to, I don't even fucking remember where they go, because they don't go to Transylvania.
Okay.
I don't, Ireland? I don't know. They go somewhere.
It looked like the East Coast.
So she goes overseas to England or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
From New York. And she meets the guy who's getting married. And then starts a romance with him, like, out of nowhere, because he's just like, I love you, and I'm going to be nice to you. And then they just, like, start this budding romance.
Okay.
And then maids are getting killed in the sidelines. Like this guy's just like, number 4, you need to go clean the library. And she gets eaten. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? And then later, like, they're romancing, they're schmoozing, and then this guy's like, hey, you two, go get a bottle of wine from the cellar. And they both get eaten. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Because it's just like 15 minutes of romance, and then 2 people get eaten.
Okay.
15 minutes of romance. Person dies, and you don't know what's happening.
What the fuck?
And then at the very end, he is like having a party, and he's like, oh, you come sit up here. And she's like, but where's the bride and groom? And he's like, it's us.
Okay.
And then he's like, great, now that that's settled, let's celebrate. And they slit a girl's throat into a punch bowl, and he starts drinking it.
Yeah, see, that's the preview of the movie right there. I was like,
that's
oh, this is
ending.
like a murder movie. What the
This is literally the last 5 minutes of the movie.
That is so weird.
Right? So then it gets unveiled. He's Dracula, dude.
Okay.
Like, he's legit Dracul.
What?
But for some reason, he can go out in the daylight.
All right.
Because they're all out in the day, like most of the movie. And the 2 other girls he met are his brides. So there's like 2 other vampire chicks there, right?
All right.
And she's going to be the 3rd one to like complete the trinity, right?
Okay.
The guy that was like, oh, you're a long-lost family, he's part of like Dracula's court of families. He has these 3 families that like run different businesses and stuff in the world that keep him rich, but then he makes sure they are successful as well with his knowledge and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like a Squid Pro Row kind of thing, right?
Right.
I make your families rich, and you keep me sustained with money to live my secluded life and do my shit, right?
Okay.
But also, the 3 of your families have to provide me a bride. And they
Weird.
had one from this family, but she killed herself before she could be a bride. That's like the opening to the movie.
Yikes.
And they've only had sons since then for like the past 100 years. So when she did the DNA test thing and they found out about that whole whatever, they were like, finally, our person we can present. Right?
God. Okay.
So they present her over, And she kills Dracula.
What? What?
So that's why Taylor and Mary hated the romance, because they were like, no, they should have just gotten married and been happy forever. But she kills him.
What? That movie had a lot of ideas.
It did.
And didn't really polish any of them.
And I know where it could have thrived, man. Like, we discussed ways that this movie could have been great with whatever they chose. And Taylor was like, yeah, that is a better movie.
Man.
But
you still liked it?
I did like, because it was still fun. And, I mean, the ending was pretty... I mean, the ending sucks, but... So then, one of the brides... Remember, she's been there 2 days.
Yeah.
She's been there 2 days. One of them's like, you're really nice. I'm gonna kill the two of us brides. So she kills themselves. So like, the two brides are gone, even.
Okay.
And then... Well, so what happens is, they're in the wedding. And the whole point is, she drinks from him. He drinks from her. They're bonded. Life is good, right?
Okay.
He cuts himself. She drinks his blood, goes all crazy with vampire powers, and then murders everybody.
Why? What?
So the ending turns into, like, female empowerment, badass lady taking charge of shit.
Sure.
Which was good. But my problem with the movie was none of it served a purpose. None of it was a payoff to any other thing.
Yeah.
It was just events that happened. We had a romance that didn't pay off. We had this female empowerment that grew out of nowhere. She didn't feel like a woman under pressure of the world. Like, she was always pretty powerful in and of herself.
Yeah.
So that scene's just an extension that didn't mean anything.
Okay.
None of it meant anything.
It's a bizarre movie.
So then she kills him, which makes her turn back to normal. And then she goes back to New York and is hanging out with her best friend, and they're killing all the members of the three families now. So that's like the buddy comedy, like, cop thing where, like, what? They get together and they're chasing down the other people.
What?
It's so weird, but it was interesting.
Yeah, that is a heck of a plot line. I want to see it now.
I mean, it was still good. I mean, I'm telling you, I still give it an 8 because it's a good movie.
It sounds like it has potential to be like a cult classic, you know?
Yeah. That's my thing, though. There's a difference between a good movie and a great movie. This was a good movie. But I was going in expecting greatness.
Yeah.
Because that trailer, I thought this was going to happen. And I was like, that could be so good. Like, that's an interesting idea. And then none of that happened.
Yeah.
And then we threw in 3 other movies in the last 5 minutes that I was like, well, if we'd have built up any of that beforehand, these would make sense.
For real.
I am so at a loss about that movie, but I enjoyed that movie.
What an oddball series of plots.
Like, as soon as she went, like, female stuff, I was like, oh, Kelsey would dig this. But then I was like, but I don't think Kelsey's going to care because it didn't, you know, like,
the movie's like,
why?
No setup, all payoff.
But it didn't even pay it off. Because what are we paying off?
Yeah.
It was so weird. Loved it.
Okay.
Loved it. Everyone should see it, even though you know what happens. But you got to see it to believe it, kind of thing.
All right. One more thing before we get out of here. So, if you are a hockey fan in Canada, got to give you guys a good thumbs up. The IIHF hockey playoffs were this last week.
Okay.
And Canada, like, fucking swept. I think Team Canada, both men and women, took gold. They were just like, boom, taking it. Yeah, so go Team Canada.
Hell yeah.
That's all I got on that.
Doing what they're good at.
Are you ready to score this hat trick of Dracula's brides?
Yeah, why not? Okay. I don't know what to expect.
If y'all love this episode, please tell a friend about us because word of mouth is the best way we can get this good yum tope into brand new ears. We release weekly every single Monday, each and every one, even on holidays, even on bad days. We're here for you. If you want to talk to us, you can catch us on Twitter at YMBTOIP. Or, if you're in the know, you can hit us up on that Discord because you're in the Patreon. Folks, tell us about how much you love Brendan Fraser. Tell us, actually, I would really like your opinion on people playing roles outside of their being.
Like, I fully get it for an ethnicity thing.
Yes, except for in the case of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But he was playing a white dude playing a black dude.
Yeah. Like, that makes 100% sense. But, like, can you really expect somebody to just, like... I mean, Christian Bale does it. He, like, gained so much muscle for Batman, lost it all for the machinist or whatever, and then gained it all back for Batman again. But
and
his
then the
body's
doctors
probably
were like,
fucked,
stop!
Dude. Yeah. If you got a copy of The Last of Us Collector's Edition, send me a picture of yours if it was good. I don't want to see another fucked up one. I've seen enough.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one. Thank you, of course, to our patrons for supporting us. You guys mean the world to us. Your support makes our hearts soar and sing. We love you very much.
Our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Faraj. Check him out on YouTube and show him all that Brendan Fraser-ly love. And as always, thanks for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. What the fuck is going on with this Darling movie? Like, I don't understand.
But we had one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
Because we're getting complacent, man.
I will never be complacent.
We can't. We're getting lost in this world. All right, let's just go get lost in the rest of the shit.
Okay, all right.
Fucking ready?
Fucking ready. Let's do this.
Bring this energy to the show.
Are you looking for a podcast about all them bodies?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh! You fucking almost tripped me. You almost fucked me up going so fast.